Hello, and welcome to the Vongino Predicament. I'm your host, Steve Vongino. That's why the show's called that. You're welcome. This is a show about politics, current events, reclaiming, and then rebuilding culture from the far-left Democratic Party who bathe in children's blood and occasionally drink slightly older children's blood. And what makes this show special is how I'm nonpartisan and refuse to take a side. Today, we're talking all about Jon Stewart, mostly known as the third lead from Big Daddy. I think it goes Sandler, Joey Lauren Adams, then Stewart. Unless you count the kid. Then Stewart's fourth build, but the kid gets the introducing credits. It's a totally different thing. Point is, he has a news TV show called The Daily TV Show, where he talks about politics. But, of course, he does it through an insane left-wing viewpoint, and that's what led him to make outrageous claims like Donald Trump at some point did crimes, or Donald Trump can't actually bench 475 plus the bar. All nonsense. And as it turns out, Jon Stewart himself has actually done crimes too in terms of selling an apartment. If Donald Trump can be guilty of crimes, which he can't, why not everyone who annoys you, who of course can? Plus, in much less important news, every single thing in the United States is crumbling to dust the moment you touch it or even glance in its general direction. It's sick, it's twisted, what these freaks are doing. But thanks to me, you're going to know all about DEI, which I assume stands for 3 new racial slurs we're going to learn. Well, actually, I already know Dago, so 2 new. Okay, 2 new racial slurs left. We'll learn what those are when the show starts, right? Presto. Guys, welcome to the show. Hope you're ready to learn today, because we offer high-quality journalism that not only entertains, but also educates. And that's why, wait, what was that? What was that? Did you hear that? I think there's some kind of sound. No, sorry. Listen, I kind of have my head a bit on a swivel as it was, and I guess, all right, I should just address this up top. I have recently been accused in a court of American law of malfeasance with previous employees, and a couple of things, which is that first off, we're not employees here. We're a family. All right. Whether it's our boss, producer Nancy Mom, or whether it's an intern we got from the Brooklyn Academy of New Media who moved to Columbuston to try and discover what they call the real America. And it's not like they can't leave. I mean, if they really wanted to leave, I bet they could pick the locks on the shed. Also, malfeasance isn't a word. So, Your Honor, I rest my case. I rest my case. Lawsuit tossed out. And listen, maybe, okay, the employee in question, maybe their job entailed helping film videos where I put on a dress, a very pretty dress, by the way, make sure that's in the record. And then I might have allegedly demanded that they just put the camera on a tripod and then put on a pretty dress themselves. And then maybe Brian, his name was Brian Tyler Rosenberg. Allegedly, he currently lives in Flatbush. Absolutely do not look him up. Maybe I made him kiss me on the cheek and then spank my butt, but it was a satire and we owned the libs. I mean, listen, have you seen a single lib since then? No, they're all dead. Except Joe Biden, because he's famously unkillable. But otherwise, every single lib has committed suicide because they got owned too hard. So I think that should clear everything up. And also, it's why I, in fact, will not be in court on Monday, because I've wrapped it all up here. Okay, I have a right, a constitutional right that many people have fought and slightly less people have died for, to defend myself, and I just did that. I am defended, and also Brian got the college credit they were promised and successfully graduated with a postgraduate degree in media studies, and he's been laid off 19 times in the past 3 weeks. Science doesn't know how it keeps happening, but leave me out of your little schemes, Brian. This is what he looks like. And again, Flatbush, Brooklyn. I think he lives on one of the streets that's numbered. Figure it out. Speaking of figuring things out, have you figured out what's happening in your country? What's going on in America, the country I live in, and also the country you presumably live in? If you live somewhere else, please mention it in the comments and then shove it up your own butt. The country is being ripped apart. Everything is collapsing. Every single plane that has taken flight in the last few months has fallen apart in the air, murdering literally hundreds of millions of hardworking Americans who just want to put food on the table and also visit Disneyland in Anaheim once every 7 months or so. The Challenger explosion. Remember that? Joe Biden's fault. Same with Chernobyl. The commie bastard was working in Leningrad at the time. The meteor that killed the dinosaurs? Absolutely Joe Biden. The Ford Pinto, Nipplegate, 9/11, maybe I'm just asking questions. All of these things are absolutely 100% scientifically proven to be the work of Joseph Robinette Rogan Brandon Biden. Also Obama, who we can only presume is the real brains behind the operation. And yesterday, those firm and some say pert brains added another card to their roster of disastrous failures designed to undermine the very security and also sexual identity of the American populace. That's right. A large shipping-related boat crashed into a bridge in Baltimore. And ladies and gentlemen, we have exclusive footage of this nautical-esque disaster that we're going to show to you right now. Okay, did you play the clip? Did you? You played the right clip, all right? Because it's in the same folder as Steamboat Willie. Yeah, I organize things by mode of transportation. All right, you got this mixed up before, right? When we were trying to do that story about that like jacked Marine who choked out the guy on the subway in New York and the guy was a Michael Jackson impersonator. That was a wild story. God, we could have gotten another week out of that. Anyway, instead of playing that tape, you just played the entirety of the movie Speed. Wait, that was on a bus? Could have sworn that was on a train. Are you sure that was a bus? I don't know. I guess I'll take your word for it, okay? Whatever. Point is, the mayor of Baltimore is black. Let's focus on that. Look at this guy. He's running one of America's major cities. I mean, at least top 20 cities. Definitely not top 10. Okay, it goes New York, LA, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, Boston, Seattle, Portland. How many is that? Where are we at? Point is, how the hell did he get elected? He certainly does not represent the populace of Baltimore, a city that I think we can all agree is made up largely of troubled Irish cops and also managers of the Baltimore Ravens. You have to ask, did he get his job via DEI? It stands for diversity, equity, and also inclusion. Perhaps the worst of all, inclusion. And that means if you are black and also disabled at any level above stubbing your toe that morning, you get an extra 1,000 votes in any municipal or even federal election. And if you add in the scientific fact that the Communist Democratic Party is opening the border wide and promising 6 packs of lukewarm Modelo and annoyingly loud car stereos to all illegal immigrants whose votes, of course, count for 3 times the votes of normal people, and you can see that this man did not get his job as an airline pilot out of merit. I meant mayor of Baltimore. Same deal. This is what's happening in America. We are not elevating the people with the most credentials, all of who just happen to be white, as long as you consider Asians and Jews white for this very specific instance. And consequently, everything in this country is falling apart. There used to be a time back in the 60s when everyone in charge of everything was just a competent white dude. Someone who never showed up to work drunk, did daily vigorous exercise beyond simply punching their wife, smoked a reasonable amount of cigarettes, and that's why no one in America died in any sort of disaster between 1946 and about 2007. Well, I mean, aside from the Challenger disaster, but that was, of course, Jesse Jackson's fault. I will not be explaining any further. You might ask, what's the left's response to this obvious failure of their corrupt, and some are even saying anarchically tyrannical disestablishmentarian policies? I use big words and I use them right. I rest my case. Well, I'll tell you what they do. They attack President Donald Trump, the former president and current Mr. Universe participant. I'm neutral on him. I only hate the Democratic Party, and I only support Republicans who agree to come on this show and also bring a baked good. Jon Stewart, whose real name is John Leibowitz, something I'm mentioning for no reason in an unrelated news. Candace Owens, call me. He's the host of Comedy Central's The Daily Comedy Show, wherein he mocks and kind of just gives this sort of kooky, kind of New York-esque Woody Allen, Latkes Kosher Yentl, don't make me say the word, spin on the happenings of the political world. So you'd think he'd tackle both sides, like I do, and mention how the Democratic Party is, of course, importing terrorists to sell fentanyl to your daughter while fucking your wife, and also vice versa. And at the same time, you can make fun of Republicans by saying that sometimes they wear stuffy suits. And then at the top of the next show, you can immediately retract the stuff about the suits because actually they look great. Look at the riz on this man. I'm a moderate centrist. In the last episode of his daily comedy goof 'em up show program, John, again, Leibowitz Stewart, write that down, brutally and quite frankly rudely attacked President Donald Trump, claiming that he was at some point guilty of a crime, something that has never been proven or even seriously alleged. Stewart claimed that Trump, who is much taller, so consider that in terms of who you trust, artificially inflated the price of a number of pieces of Manhattan real estate in order to fraudulently take out loans and also pay less taxes or something. I don't know. Basically, he was like, banks, give me money. And if I don't pay it back, you can take my apartment and also the Brooklyn Bridge. I own that too. It's all worth about $700 billion. Enjoy. And the banks gave it to him and he probably paid it back. And if he didn't, he sued them. And that counts as paying them back. It's all part of the order of the deal. And additionally, Jon Stewart did the exact same thing. Several years ago, Jon Stewart sold his penthouse apartment for several $1 million over asking price. And sure, some are claiming that what he did actually didn't break any laws. And also, in the price, you have to factor in the value of all the several liters of College of William and Mary grad student pussy juice that must have been spread all over Jon Stewart's Manhattan penthouse. Jesus Christ, can you imagine? The point is that Jon Stewart, like everyone on the radical left, is a vile hypocrite. He wants to accuse Donald Trump of committing loan fraud, when in fact, Jon Stewart himself did that exact thing. Just like how when they accused Donald Trump of withholding aid to Ukraine for quid pro quo, actually, in fact, Joe Biden had done that. Yeah. And when they accused Donald Trump of flying on Epstein's plane and giving a number of interviews where they said he was in fact a cool guy, actually, Nancy Pelosi did that. And when they accused Donald Trump Jr. of having a big dick and being like really good at smoking crack and taking shirtless but with a denim jacket selfies, it was actually Hunter Biden who, wait, no, that was Donald Trump Jr. He's really cool. Write that down. He did do that. If the radical left, all of them communist, all of them dingus, most of them gay, didn't have double standards, then they wouldn't have standards at all. Every time they point and finger, in fact, they have four fingers pointing right back at them. Well, and one thumb pointing up to heaven. So if one of those, quite frankly, loser dorks comes up to you and claims to, in fact, be your son and tells you to get out of their house and that they already said you don't get any contact with the grandkids unless you take down all the racist Tweety Bird memes, you can tell them, hey, I brought you into this world and I can take you out of it, which is kind of the ultimate shadow banning. And also, Jon Stewart made too much money selling an apartment and therefore Donald Trump is innocent and gets to be president again. I'm a moderate centrist. Also, according to my research, Jon Stewart was in several episodes of The Nanny and also News Radio. He shot some stuff for the First Wives Club, but they cut him out. He was in Robert Rodriguez's The Faculty, and for all of that, he should be in jail. All right, gang, thanks for watching. You guys are great. Like and subscribe. Right down there, you'll see, where would that be? It'll be like right, maybe I gotta use my other shit. I'm getting twisted up in the mic. I don't know what's happening. I'm getting attacked. Like and subscribe. All my links are down there. I'm on x.com, a website that's always been called that. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. And I'm on Patreon. Ladies and gentlemen, patreon.com/the Vongina Predicament for $5 a month. Nothing. You don't have $5? Get it together. Do you know how easy it is to find a job right now? Right now, go out, okay? Go apply to U-Haul. They have signs where like, we will pay you in cash today if you just spray a hose into the back of a van and get all the cum out. That's what they mostly use U-Haul vans for. Anyway, $5, okay? You get exclusive bonus content. A weekly bonus video the weeks I remember to do them. I didn't do them this week. Shut up. Access to the raw video feed. And of course, you get an executive producer credit. Those names should be flying by right now off to the side where they be the beer like this way. Oh, yeah. Look at these names. Look at these names. Look at this name. Whatever name's passing by my thumb, right? As I guess I got to show my thumb. What am I doing right here? Like there, that name, whoever that is, I tell you, that person is quite frankly a real cocksucker. All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I got another video coming out right soon. And until next time.
Again, John Leibowitz, write that down. And also, again, Candace Owens, give me a call. We can hang out. Shut up and sit down.